Okay, very good morning to all the students out here. This is Professor Ronak here. Welcomes you all in the class of the financial management. I hope my voice is properly audible to all of you without any disturbance. A single confirmation, please. Thank you so much, Mr. Nimit. Thank you, Nandini. Thanks, Dolly. Let's move ahead. Okay, so I have built two creatives through which I'll be starting today. And we were there into one question when we had started the time value of the money. And at that point of time, we tried to get the answers from all the students that what was their opinions on the two stream of cash flows. So there was alternative number one, if you can recall it, and then there was alternative number two. In one, you were receiving 1 lakh in the first year. There were total 5 years, then 2 lakhs. So it was basically ascending, increasing in nature. 3 lakhs, 4 lakhs, and 5 lakhs. And sir, in the second alternative, the cash flow stream, we were first receiving the greater amount first, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. By looking at these three examples, I would initiate the topic of time value of money now. Many of the students had given me the answers on the selection of option over here. So some of the students said me that, sir, option number 1 should be taken because it is increasing in nature, ever increasing in nature. And many of the students were of the opinion that, sir, alternative number 2 shall be taken. I had left it open for the interpretation of all, but now let me tell you, my friends, money today is worth more than money tomorrow. Please put it in the back of your mind. If you are sleeping in it right at 2 a.m., if I wake you up and if I tell you that what's the compounding, what's the time value of money, you should be saying that to me, that money today is worth more than money tomorrow. Time value of money can be interpreted from two perspectives. Majority of the teachers I have seen are talking only from a one perspective of the inflation. There is another perspective too. The first is the inflation. The money is losing the spine over a period of time. My friend, earlier you receive the money, it is better for you, because whatever the money that you have received in the year number 1 itself will be losing its value in the year number 5. The 5 lakhs of year number 5 and the 5 lakhs of the year number 1, both are not same. They are different. The purchasing power you had of 5 lakhs rupees in the year number 1, the similar kind of a purchasing power you do not have with the 5 lakhs rupees in the year number 5, my friends. The inflation is working against you. What you were able to buy in a 1 lakh of rupees before 10 years, can you buy similar number of things in 1 lakh rupees today? No. 30 rupees, 40 rupees used to be the salary of the people in 1990s and 80s on a monthly basis. Now 30 rupees can give you only the vada pav. So earlier you receive the money, it's always better. That is the one perspective. Number two perspective to look at the time value of the money, my dear friends, is there is a earning power of the money. There is the earning power of the money. You are receiving the additional 4 lakhs rupees in the alternative number 2. Then in a year number 2, you will have the additional 2 lakhs rupees. Here the amount is same. Here you will have the additional amount in the alternative number 1. So alternative number 1, you have the additional amount of 4 lakhs here. Sorry, 2 lakhs here. 2 and 2 lakhs here, yes, and 4 lakhs over here. That means in the alternative number 2, you are getting additionally 4 lakhs rupees in the year number 2, right? Now this 4 lakh rupees will be giving you the interest for how many number of periods, years? 5 years. You will keep that invested. Obviously, you are not keeping that idle, right? Because you know the value of money now. And the 4 lakh of rupees you are receiving additionally in the alternative number 1, you will be investing that money only for the 1 year, because anyway after the 5th year you want your money back. So you tell me whether the interest of the 5th year will be higher or whether the interest of the 1 year will be higher. Which interest will be higher? So which one is the wise decision, to get the additional money earlier or to get the additional money afterwards? On which alternative you will be able to earn more? Obviously, sir, if your money will be invested for 5 years, the rate of return expectation would be quite higher. The amount of expectations would be quite higher as compared to if it will be invested only for the 1 year. The return amount will be higher in the 5 years. Pretty much understood. There is no logic, no rocket science involved over here. So two perspectives. One is the inflation, and another one is the earning power of the money. Money carries the earning power. You cannot keep it idle. If you are delaying the receipt of the money, my friends, you are losing the opportunity cost on it. That cost is not the actual exact cost, but that cost is the fictitious cost. You are losing the opportunity. That is also a cost for you, right? In finance, you just do not take the decisions based on the actual cash inflows and outflows. No. You are losing the opportunity somewhere. And if that opportunity is lost, that is also a cost for you, for all of us. That is the time value of money. Now I had drawn, let me go over there in the first one. That was the vitamin C. I was preparing a creative, where I wanted to tell to the people that how to avoid the financial COVID. So you'll have to take the vitamin C, and vitamin C is the compounding. You will get to know the meaning of it in some time to come. What is the meaning of compounding and all? Here as well, you can see one of the chart where there is an exponential curve. That means the amount is ever increasing. Here we have the time at the X value, and Y value is the amount of money. Now you'll come to know after this. I'm not right now telling you. I'm again building a curiosity. ये दोनों फिगर्स मैं आपको अच्छी तरीके से एक्सप्लेन करूंगा आफ्टर सम टाइम टू कम. उससे पहले I want further clarification from your side related to some of the aspects. Again, asking the question, keeping it open for all of you. There are two equations I'm putting in front of you. So there are two equations. Mathematically, both are one and the same, but psychologically, both are different. If you have the option, which option you will be selecting? Keeping it open for the interpretation of all. Which one is the superior equation? What do you feel? Let me check the answers I've got from here. Overwhelming majority is saying 2. Toli, Mr. Afridi, then Ilavanthan, then Vishal, Hardik, Nandini, Saket, Neev. Okay, what's the logic behind the second equation? People are aware about it. Good to see. Okay, what's the reason behind it? Can someone explain it? Why second?
Sir, may I?
Yes, Mr. Jigar, why not? Please.
Sir, in the second equation, it is income minus savings is equals to expense. I think saving is more important. I heard someone like my elders saying that if you want to live a better life, you need to at least save the 30% or 20% of what you earn. That eventually means if you earn something, you need to save the first, and then you can think of spending remaining amount later.
Very true. Very true, Mr. Jigar. Absolutely correct. Now, my friends, here savings is dependent on what you are expending. And here expenses are dependent on what you are doing the savings. So you're taking the first part of the saving first, and then whatever the remaining amount you have, you will be spending out of it, right? And that too, my friends, you will be prioritizing. Here, this expenses will be prioritized between needs and wants. Needs are those things without which you cannot survive. Roti, kapda, makan. Along with that, some of the internet connection nowadays as well, to attend the lecture and the fees of the class too. So necessities, this bracket of necessities and needs is ever increasing in nature. Earlier, many of the things were not a part of our necessity, but because of the social change and the economic upliftment, many of the things are becoming the necessity for us. But still, people are getting confused over here in the wants and necessities. Any expenditure without which you can survive and live is a want for you. Any expenditure which is required for you to survive and to live is a need for you. So whatever the expenses you have now, you'll be bifurcating that into needs and wants. That was also said by Mr. Robert Kiyosaki. You may also read one of his amazingly reviewed book, Rich Dad Poor Dad. Some of you might have read that as well. That's a recommendation from my side if you haven't read that yet. But that book contains the dark secrets of the wealth management at the personal level. Try to have the control over your inflows and your outflows. Have the financial discipline. Try to maintain a record. You must be aware about that, where your money is going. Money is not something which is the outcome of the intellect or degree. Let me make it very clear to all of you. Those who have the money management skills, money belong to them. I'm not saying that I have it, absolutely not. Even I am struggling in many of the things. But at least I know I'm struggling. I'm trying to get past that struggle. That realization should happen. Needs and wants. Bifurcating these things into needs and wants. Now, my friends, we have understood that savings is something which should be independent. First, you take the amount of saving out of your income. And this should be gradual in nature, marginal propensity to save. This is something which economists all over the world try to get from the people of their nation. Those nations which have the marginal propensity to save, who are gradually doing the savings from their income, those nations will be able to survive in some uncertainties. In 2007-8, the subprime crisis happened. So many major banks of the United States of America got shattered, was on the verge of shutdown. Even the Lehman Brothers got shut down. The major reason behind that crisis was that there was an unemployment in the economy of United States. And people did not have the good amount of savings. In India, the people are habituated to do the savings actually. That's why we could survive in that tremendous economic pressure in 2007 and 8. I should also praise the efforts taken by Mr. Manmohan Singh at that time, one of the best finance men ever we have witnessed in India, along with Mr. Raghuram Rajan. These are the two people, on a personal note, I believe a lot. But Indians were also having the savings habit, We are habituated to do the savings. You go to the marriage functions and we give some cover to those people, so money would be saved by them in some of the other way. You go to the temples or gurudwaras or masjids, you put some money over there, there would be some petty and that would be saved by that authority, whoever is handling that trust. જ્યારે નાના હતા ત્યારે પણ મમ્મી કહેતા ને આપણને કે થોડુંક બચાવીને રાખ બેટા, તરત બહુ સ્પેન્ડ ન કરાય. So psychologically, right since the childhood, because of the cultural influence we have got, we are habituated to save. But the only problem here we have is the earlier the currency was, the gold and the barter system was followed. People were not aware that the currency may lose the value. So people were doing the savings in 1970s, 80s, and 90s. Our parents used to save a lot. Some of the things were implanted through the religion as well. Religious practices were also built in such a manner that you were forced to save. So earlier, the gold was something which was considered to be the currency, and before that there was a barter system. You exchange things with one to another. There was no currency, paper currency. Now, because of that gold was something to be considered as the asset which never loses its value. That's why it was also put into various systems of the society and culture. In the marriage functions as well, the gold was given the too much of importance, because that was considered to be the true wealth which does not lose the value. But my friends, when the modern economy started taking a place in the world, there was the introduction of the paper currency. Nowadays, so we have reached to the cryptocurrencies too, which does not have the physical existence as well, no government control too in the cryptocurrencies. But when paper currencies took place, the savings you cannot keep your savings idle, because now paper currency is something which is not governed by you. It can lose its value over a period of time. Your government can make you rich and poor. Say there were only 1 lakh rupees of currency in the circulation. So all the resources of the nation like India, all the resources, and someone was having 20,000 of rupees, you could buy around 20% of all the resources of India, right? That is a very simple calculation I'm doing for the explanation. Now, if government increases the flow of currency in the market, if government introduces the new amount of currency, then what will happen, that if the currency reaches to 5 lakhs, the total currency, and you have just 20,000. So earlier you were able to get the 20% of the resources of India. Now out of 5 lakhs, you have just 20,000. So how much resources of India you will be able to get? 20,000 of 5 lakhs. 5,000 stand for 1%, so it comes around 4%, right? So your effective control over the resources is reduced from 20% to 4%. You are poorer now. Poverty is something which is relative in nature. So savings cannot be kept idle. 20,000 you have, you cannot keep it idle in the paper currency. That was the major mistake we did. Our earlier generation did in 70s and 80s. They used to save it in the paper currency. They did not have the exposure of the investment avenues. If you just check the exposure of the PPF and share market at that point of time in 80s and 90s, hardly few fraction of percentage of the people were doing it. 99, 98%, even more than that percentage of the population did not have any exposure of any investment avenue. And that's where we got stuck. So savings must be channelized further into investments. You cannot keep it idle. And when it comes to the investments, you have the two options. Either you invest and get the simple return, or you get the compounding return. Can someone tell me what's the difference between the simple return and compounding return? All of you?
So may I?
Yes, Jigar, please.
Simple return means the money invested in the like we invest in a saving bank account or fixed deposits where the return is fixed and the rate of interest is fixed, and that is what we get as a return. If you invest in other than that, that is share market and all, the return can be high with the increase in market rate. If market has the inflation, you may get the high return. That is called compounding return. And simple means the return is fixed.
Okay, return is fixed. That is partially correct. I agree to it. The major difference between the two is anyone there else who has said the compounding interest means interest on interest? Very true, Mr. Mohit. Yes, Miss Devanchi, we used to maintain the piggy bank. Yes, that was implanted in us. Okay. Now, in the compounding return, your interest is reinvested again. Your interest is reinvested again. And in the simple return, you take back your interest or whatever the return you get. Say, just giving you one simple example, there is 100 rupees you are investing. So at the year number 1, there is a one simple interest, and in alternative 2, you have the compounding interest. So in 100, my friends, you get say 10% of the simple return. So you have 10 rupees as the return, right? So your fund will be 110. And in compounding as well, you earn 10 rupees only. The return is 10% only. But your fund value will be 110. Now there comes a second year. Now the simple return, either you may withdraw or you may keep it, but it is not reinvested again. You had invested 100 only. So again you get the 10%. In simple return, the 10% would be given to you again on this 100 only. So it would be 10. But in compounding return, the now 10% would be given to you will be on 110 because your interest is reinvested again. So on 110, 10% comes at 11 rupee. So your fund value becomes 121 here. Here it becomes 120. So for 2 years, 3 years and small number of periods, you'll not be able to realize the difference between the two. But once the period passes, the difference between the two will be gigantic, insurmountable. You will come to know it after some point of time. Again, for the third year, the 10% of the return you get simple is again on the 100, the principal amount. So you get 10. So your fund value becomes 130. You may withdraw this 10 or you may keep it over there, but it will not be reinvested again. But here, the 10% would be on 121 now. So that would be 12.1. So your fund value becomes 133.1. So now onwards, you will be able to realize the difference between the two. So very simple understanding of the compounding and simple return is that in a simple return, your return remain fixed. It is partially correct, absolutely true. But that return you get only on the principal amount you had invested. The principal amount you had invested was 100. You will keep on getting the return only on the principal amount. But here in this case, my friend, the compounding return, your return is reinvested again, and the next return would be on the modified fund value. Again, the next return will be on the modified fund value. So when it comes to the simple interest, you will have to just find the number of periods for which you get 10. And if there are 5 years, then you multiply with 5 years. So 50 rupees would be your total simple interest earned. But compounding happens in a different way. I'm just introducing one more concept now. Try to understand. And this benefits of the compounding you realize only after you remain invested for some period of time. So there are two alternatives with you. Try to understand again. How do you find the compounding return? What is the formula? I'm going to take those formulas in a very detailed manner, but just for the clarification, I'm writing the formula right now, which is the present value, the amount of investment multiplied by 1 plus r raised to n, that is your future value. I can also call it the fund value after some number of years. N stands for the number of years, R stands for the rate of return, and PV stands for the amount of investment. This is the single cash flow. We are investing only for the one point of time. There are various complications. We'll see that later on. Don't worry. This is the simple formula. PV multiplied by 1 plus R raised to N. Try to understand. Say you're investing 1 lakh of rupees. Can you expect 15% of the return on it on a yearly basis? So what will be your future value after 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 21, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Let's check it out. You had invested how much? Sir, 1 lakh of rupees. So what will be the value of your fund after 5 years if the compounding return you get? If you get the compounding return, so let me just use this formula in the Excel itself. So it's the amount of investment. I'm locking that cell because that cell will remain constant, So locking that cell multiplied by 1 plus R. R will be 15%. That cell I am also locking because that will also remain constant for all the years. Number of periods will be different for all this, So in power you have N. So I'm using the sign of this power raised to, and N would be this 5. I'm not locking that cell because that will keep on getting changed. 5 will become 10, 10 will become 15 and so on. So pressing the enter, what will be your future value? That means the 1 lakh rupees would have been 2 lakhs 1,000 now. So if you find the interest, so interest is basically this money, the fund value minus the amount of investment you had done. So amount of investment you had done was 1 lakh. So this is the amount of interest you have earned. Now let me just break it to 10 years. What is the money you have now? 4 lakhs. So 1 lakh rupees is converted into 4 lakhs just in 10 years. You copy it and take it further. It becomes how much? Try to understand the effect of compounding. Try to understand. This is the power of compounding. Your money is multiplied by 8 times in 15 years. Copy this and paste it over here. It's 16 lakhs 36,000 after 20 years. Then you again drag it down. It becomes 32 lakhs after 25 years. Then it becomes 66 lakhs. Then it becomes 1 crore 33 lakhs. Then it becomes 2 crores 67 lakhs. You make 45. It becomes 5 crore 38 lakhs. 50. Now the Excel is showing me some problem. I need to convert it into a number. Excel भी थक गया भाई, कितनी बार करोगे? कहाँ पे पहुंच गया? 10 crores 83 lakhs. Now the amount of interest you have earned, I'm just dragging this formula because you have invested only 1 lakh rupees only, in everyone. in every scenarios. So amount of interest is going gigantic, you know. You reduce just 1 lakh from this amount, this is the amount of interest you have earned in all of these cases. From 1 lakh to 10 crores 82 lakhs. Can you imagine the power of compounding? When the interest is reinvested again, it multiplies. My friend, whether the multiplication gives you the higher amount or whether the summation gives you the higher amount, simple interest is just the summation. Compounding interest is the multiplication. मुझे मालूम है बहुत सारे लोग वंडर कर रहे हो, माय गॉड 1 लाख का 10 करोड़ रुपए, 11 करोड़ रुपए, 55 साल में जाओ वो 11 करोड़ रुपए कहां पे पहुंच रहे हैं? 21 करोड़ रुपए. So you draw the chart of it, no? You draw the chart of it. I'm just drawing a one line chart of it, inserting one chart. Let me take the years as well so that you do not get confused. Let me take this one only. Fine. Okay. How this chart is looking about, can someone tell me? The amount of money you are gathering. The amount of money you are gathering is exponentially increasing. That means up to this many periods, I'm just drawing a line there. Up to this much of a time, you are like, sir, कुछ आगे ही नहीं जा रहा है, कुछ मालूम ही नहीं पड़ रहा है, पैसे बढ़े कि नहीं बढ़े मालूम ही नहीं है. लेकिन कुछ समय के बाद आपको ये बेनिफिट इसके रियलाइज कब होते हैं? थोड़े समय के बाद यहाँ से बेनिफिट्स रियलाइज होते हैं. Then you see your money is reaching somewhere to this level. So many of the people comes to me and says that, you know, being a financial advisor, they comes to me and like, for how many number of years I should invest the money? I should say for the lifetime. Then they say I can invest only for the 5 years. Then I say, then it's okay. Then do not invest on it. Then you may do some trading and you may keep it in the business, because you realize the power of compounding only after you keep yourself invested. Now this is a moderate kinda return we have taken for 15%. Some of the equity stocks have given you the return over a period of time. If you take specifically Reliance, their market capitalization have grown at 30% rate since their inception. So there is a 30% of the rate of increment. Can you imagine where your money will go at 30% rate? From here only you realize your money, my friend. This is the point. यहाँ तक रिमेन अपने को रहना है इन्वेस्टेड. प्रॉब्लम यही है कि यहाँ पे लोग पेशेंस लूज कर देते हैं. मेरे को तो पैसा चाहिए, अब मेरे को कुछ नहीं करना है. जहां से पैसे मिलने की शुरुआत हुई वहां से निकल जाना है. That's the tremendous amount of power of compounding return. But say, my friends, if it was the simple return, then what would have been there? Simple return, so anyway, you are getting 10,000 rupees only, no? 15,000, sorry. On 1 lakh, you were getting 15,000. So equal to 15,000. And for all the periods, you receive the same amount of 15,000 only, because that is remaining fixed, right? So if you are getting for 55 periods, then what is the interest you have earned in the simple interest? 8,25,000. Now, can you imagine? Can you compare the 8,50,000 with 21 crore 78,62,000 you have got here? Simple interest is standing just nowhere. But you realize the difference between the two only after some period of time. आपको 10, 12, 15, 20 साल में मालूम भी नहीं पड़ेगा. 15, 20 साल में ज्यादा पीरियड हो गया, वहां पे मालूम पड़ेगा, लेकिन 5, 7, 8 साल में तो मालूम भी नहीं पड़ेगा. You'll not be able to know that how much interest you have earned in 5 to 8 years. Remain invested for the very long period of time. Keep yourself invested. I'm not saying that you should not modify your portfolios, no. But money should be at a work constantly. Do not take it away in the short frame of time, because the moment you will keep realizing the benefits of it, you will lose your patience and then you will take your money back. And the benefits you were supposed to receive will be gone, will be vanished. Remain yourself invested. That's the tremendous amount of compounding power. That is called as the power of compounding. So that's why I hope now you can understand the image which I had stated here. Mr. Albert Einstein as well had stated one time that the power of compounding is the eighth wonder of the world. You know, this is the eighth wonder of the world. There is an exponential curve. That means the money increases increasingly. Money increases increasingly. That means each and every edition now, after some point of time, will be higher than the previous edition. Money increases increasingly. It is not just increasing. It is increasing with the increasing edition. हर बार एडिशन जो हो रहा है वो भी इंक्रीज हो रहा है. That's why it has the exponential power. That's why I had stated that vitamin C is must to avoid the financial COVID, you know. And that vitamin C in the language of finance is the vitamin compounding. Once you have understood the compounding, the power of compounding, then we may move ahead to the other aspects of the time value of money. So from the next session onwards, we'll go to the practical questions of the time value of money. We'll be taking the various complications in the time value of money. This is the base. Let me just tell to you. For the options valuations, for the business valuations, for every sort of advanced level calculations in the finance, time value of money is going to be the base. Once you have understood this well, the foundation is strong, you will never be stopped in any of the advanced level concepts of the financial management. This is going to be the base. May I have the confirmation from the students? You want to ask anything? Till now, whatever I have said, may I have the confirmation that you have got everything crystal clear from all the students, please? Thank you so much to all the students there. Please put your enrollment number as a mark of your attendance. Bye-bye, take care, sayonara, enjoy your rest of the day, and think about this vitamin C, power of compounding to avoid the financial COVID. Bye-bye, take care.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Thanks to all of you. Take care.